explain what you mean by integrative thinking?
Sure. What I went out and looked at is how highly successful leaders think. And what I found is that the most common characteristic that set them apart from others is an ability to, when faced with opposing ideas, to rather than thinking that their job is, I have to figure out which is the best or which is the least worst of these, let's say, two ideas, opposing ideas, rather their instinct is to say, no, I'm not going to choose, I'm going to create a better answer than either of the two that takes into account and uses aspects of the two, but creates a better answer. And that's integrative thinking, and I saw it over and over again in these highly successful people.
Is this, from your experience, is this type of thinking something that can be cultivated, or is it something you're born with?
I think it's something that can be cultivated, but isn't, is the problem. I think people are taught that their job is to choose. Right? Think of how many CEOs you might have talked to about saying, well, the buck stops here, I have to make the tough choices. Right? The integrative thinkers do not make tough choices. They sort of reject the notion that that's their job. So I think we teach people to make choices. We teach people to try and believe that there's one true model. Think about your elementary school education. Right? How many times were you taught, this is the rule? This is the model. This is the American Revolution, and these guys were good and these guys were bad, right? As opposed to, there's one model that says this, there's another model that says that. Kind of your job is to hold those models in your mind and try and come up with a better interpretation of it.
Roger Martin is quite insightful in how he unpacks the mindset and thinking of a successful leader. I resonate with this at quite a deep level because as a CPA and a fractional CFO, I'm often thrust into situations with business owners where they're given two options that they don't really like. They want me to help them find another alternative that is better than either option that they have. You see, every business owner is put in these situations, and often multiple times a week. This is where they feel that they must make the choice between the lesser of two evils, and not the least of which is fighting tooth and nail to make money, but then having to pay it all out again in taxes. Successful entrepreneurs refuse the notion that they're going to spend all of this time and energy building a successful and profitable business, only to then give 20 to 50% of it away in taxes. They're constantly looking for and creating alternatives to help them build their wealth. Here are some of the principles that successful entrepreneurs use when strategically dealing with their tax liability. The first principle is that leverage is key to unlocking compounding tax savings and wealth growth. The second is that loans against assets are not taxable. This gives rise to what's known as buy, borrow, and die, where the wealthy don't even withdraw against their underlying asset. They don't sell it. They simply borrow against it for what they need to live off of. The third principle is that income is taxed, but wealth is not. The fourth principle is that the goal for successful entrepreneurs is infinite returns and zero taxes. That's where we're aiming. They want to use other people's money, other people's time and resource, and ultimately extract their inputs and pay nothing out in taxes. The fifth principle is own nothing, but control everything. The sixth principle is that entrepreneurs use unique and unintended combinations of the tax code to unlock surprising savings. So my challenge to you is this: engage in learning about tax planning and strategies as part of your wealth creation and business growth. Don't resign yourself to paying a big tax bill. You need to know that you have options, even if you're not sure what they are. And as part of that, as your wealth grows, you do need to build a strong advisor team who can help create these solutions for you. Subscribe to learn more, build wealth, and save on taxes.